let's take a look at our top selections.
Hi, everyone. The first of 4 stakes races on Saturday at Santa Anita is the $75,000 Siren Lure Stakes, 6.5 furlongs on grass for older male sprinters, open to either gender, but no fillies in this field. And it's probably the least significant of the 4 stakes races, least significant in terms of overall ramifications, but maybe not for us bettors, because I think we might be able to cash a bet on a horse that I do not expect to be the favorite. We'll talk about him in just a minute. But first, let's take a look at the field. The field of 7 will be running 6.5 furlongs on grass. And it's, just an okay bunch of horses. The top turf sprinters in California are not in the field. Gregorian Chant, I know he misfired in the Jaipur at Belmont Park a couple weeks ago. He's a much better horse than shown by that race. Bombard, a graded stakes winner, he's skipping the Siren Lure. And we're left with the field of 7 and a relatively evenly matched field of 7. I would expect that number 4, Texas Wedge, would probably start as the favorite, but he's no slam dunk. There is not a slam dunk in this field. And it's kind of an interesting betting race, and we'll explain why a little bit later. But first, let's talk about 3 of the contenders. Trainer Peter Miller has 2 runners in this field. Number 3, Commander, and number 4, Texas Wedge. Commander was claimed last January for $50,000, and he has since earned back his purchase price and more by just becoming a good, solid, late-running, allowance caliber grass sprinter. And let's take a look at his most recent start. It was Commander, and it was May 29th at Santa Anita, and he didn't win the race, but he ran okay. Bombard is going to win the race up on the front end. This is the grade 3 Daytona, by the way, and he ran well, Commander did. He ran well. He just was not good enough to win. He finished 3rd by a length and 1/4, did Commander. A good race by a good horse in good form. He'll be running late on Saturday in the Siren Lure. The horse that I expect to start favored is Texas Wedge, Miller's other horse, because he's the most accomplished horse in the race. He's a graded stakes winner, and his most recent start on grass at Santa Anita was in a turf sprint. It was the Joe Hernandez Stakes on January 1st, and you talk about a nightmare of a trip. Let's watch Texas Wedge, and we're going to pick it up on the far turn. It's Texas Wedge, number 1 in 4th position, and he's blocked through the turn. He's blocked into the stretch, nowhere to go. Poor Texas Wedge with nowhere to go. He basically takes up and loses all chance nearing the 8th pole. He angles to the outside, and he really didn't punch after he got clear. He finished 4th by 4 lengths. It was a misfire, but it was a misfire with trouble. Texas Wedge did not have a fair chance in the Joe Hernandez in early January. And by the way, that race was won by another Miller trainee, a horse by the name of Hembry. So that was the last time that Texas Wedge ran on grass at Santa Anita. And how does he like the grass course at Santa Anita? He's fine. He's made 4 starts on it. He's won 1 of them. His most recent start was in an off-the-turf race at Lone Star. He finished an okay 3rd. He's back where he belongs on Saturday, Texas Wedge is, and he's the class of the field and the most accomplished in the race. And if they all run their best race, Texas Wedge certainly can win this race. But the horse that I like most is a horse that finished dead last in his most recent start. He's number 7, Chasing Money, and the reason I like him is because he looks to me like he's lone speed. He finished last of 5 at 7-2 in an allowance race last time out, so you'd have to believe that he'll start at least 7-2, maybe 4-1, maybe higher on Saturday in the Siren Lure. I certainly hope so. Now, last time out, Chasing Money dueled with Bombard, and he cracked and finished last. That race, that allowance race, was won by deep closing Gregorian Chant, and the horse that Chasing Money dueled with, Bombard, who finished 2nd, would come back in his very next start and win a grade 3 rather impressively. The point is that Chasing Money ran against good horses, and he dueled with a good horse, and he cracked from the heat. Now, on Saturday, I think Chasing Money is loose on the lead. Is he good enough? How does he do when he gets similar trips? Well, let's take a look at his race 2 starts back. What happens when Chasing Money makes the front and controls things up on the front end? he goes gate to wire, just like he did in this two starts back, I should say, in which Chasing Money won by 3/4 of a length. That was thanks Mr. Eitzen, who came to him. But Chasing Money, he's a front runner who fights back when he gets hooked late most of the time. He didn't do it last time. He cracked. But he's loose on the lead, I think, on Saturday in the Siren Lure Stakes. And I expect Chasing Money, hopefully at a decent price. You can never really tell. Maybe it's too obvious that his pace advantage, I believe it's a pace advantage, it might be too obvious to everybody, in which case he'll get bet down. But I think Chasing Money breaks running, makes the lead, and goes gate to wire. 6.5 furlong grass sprints at Santa Anita. 5 of the last 9 going into Friday have been won by the pace setter at all rail settings, 0, 10, 20, and 30. So speed's been good, going 6.5 on grass at all rail settings. Rails are down on Saturday, and we're looking for Chasing Money to go wire to wire in the Siren Lure Stakes, race 3, Saturday at Santa Anita.